A message in a bottle from 1494 has finally been decoded after more than 500 years. It's an incredible story, and today we're going to share it with you. The message was found inside a bottle which was discovered at the bottom of the sea back in 2020 off the coast of the Algerian city of Setoff. But the message had been written in such an ancient language that it took historians more than 2 years just to decipher what it said. Before we get into the contents of the letter, let us take a moment to appreciate how incredibly cool it is that a message from 1494 has survived all this time and also managed to stay in such good condition that the text was still readable. Think about it. Between 1494 and now, there's been over 500 years. A lot of wars, famines, plagues, and other disasters that could have wiped out this message forever. What makes this find even cooler is that messages in a bottle like this were actually quite popular during the 15th century. Basically, people would write down whatever they wanted to say, and then put it inside a bottle, and then throw the bottle into the sea. The idea was that the bottle would eventually wash up on shore somewhere else, and the contents of the bottle would be discovered by someone who would then know whatever you wanted to tell them. But obviously, since most bottles thrown into the sea will end up lost in the ocean forever, many of these messages will never be read. But every once in a while, one of these bottles will make it to its destination, or, in this case, close enough to its destination that it can still be appreciated by modern humans. But what did the message say? Well, before we reveal that, I want to ask you for a favor. If you enjoy the videos that we make, it really helps us out if you hit that like button. It takes less than half a second, and it's a great way to support us. Now, back to the message. Here's what it says. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Know that whoever finds this bottle, the writer is someone from the Maghreb region of Africa, specifically from the city of Setoff. He wrote this on the 17th Ramadan in the year 905 That's important because it helps us know exactly when the bottle was written. The person who found it said he picked it up on the beach near Oran. Now, Oran is a city located about 200 kilometers west of Setoff. So it seems like the bottle traveled pretty far across the Mediterranean before it was found. The author of the message goes on to say that he used to be a fisherman in his day, casting his net into the sea in the hopes of catching fish, but instead only ever caught pieces of wood and other debris. Then he goes on to talk about how he has children and that he wants them to grow up to be better men than him. And so he writes, "Oh, my sons, do not become like your father, who spends his days on fishing trips and doesn't catch anything. Instead, work hard and you will succeed." He then asks his sons to pray for him, and mentions that he has another wife and kids. And finally, he says, "I greet all those who knew me, both the honorable and the dishonorable. May God bless you all and grant you success." So basically, the letter is just a man saying, "Hey, if anyone finds this bottle, please pray for me." Not exactly a thrilling adventure story, but still pretty cool, in my opinion. What's your favorite part of this story? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We create content about Africa every week. And if you subscribe, you won't miss any of our new videos. It's crazy to think that a piece of history like this could survive for so long. But it's a reminder that the past is always closer to us than we think. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll stumble across some ancient artifact that sheds light on some obscure historical event. Speaking of obscure historical events, today we're going to tell you about a little-known battle. This is a region that's seen its fair share of fighting over the years. But this particular battle is rarely mentioned in history books. In the year 998 AD, the Berber coalition known as the Almoravids went to war against the Zirad dynasty. This wasn't just any battle. This was the Battle of the Three Kings. On one side was King Bulughwan of the Almoravids. On the other side was King al-Hasan ibn al-Kanda of the Ziyad, a brilliant tactician who was known for his ability to outmaneuver his opponents. And in the middle was King Uya ibn Ibrahim of the Fatimids. It raged for hours, and neither side was able to gain the upper hand. Finally, as the sun began to set, the three kings faced off in a one-on-one sword duel. The fate of the battle hung in the balance. But in the end, it was King al-Hasan ibn al-Kanda who emerged victorious. He killed both of his opponents, and their armies fled. This was a pivotal moment in history. The Battle of the Three Kings marked the beginning of the end for the Almoravid dynasty and the beginning of the rise of the Ziyad. But despite its importance, this battle is rarely taught in schools, and most people don't know about it today. Why is that? Well, one reason could be that the battle took place in North Africa. Unfortunately, the history of North Africa is often overlooked when people think about important historical battles. They usually think about European conflicts like the Battle of Hastings or the Battle of Waterloo. But in reality, some of the most important battles in history took place. For example, the Battle of Karansabs between the Ottoman Empire and the Habsburg monarchy in 1699, or the Battle of the Three Kings that we just talked about. But no matter what the reason is, it's important that we learn about these battles and the people who fought in them. These are important stories that deserve to be told. And if you want to learn more about them, you're in luck. We've already created several videos about the history of North Africa, and more are on the way. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our new videos. Now back to the video. Another reason why this battle, and other battles like it, are often overlooked is because they do unfit neatly. The Battle of the Three Kings, for example, took place at a time when the Muslim world was fragmented into a number of different states and kingdoms. It was a complex period of history with no clear-cut enemies and allies. This makes it difficult to frame the battle as a simple clash between good and evil, which is what a lot of people expect when they hear about a battle. To truly understand the significance of this battle, we need to look beyond the clash of swords and shields and examine the political and religious factors that led to it. But despite the complexity of the conflict, it's important that we try to understand it. Battles like the Battle of the Three Kings are a crucial part of our collective human history. They teach us about the complexities of human conflict and the challenges of building peace. And who knows? Maybe one day soon they'll be taught in schools around the world. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you have a history buff in your life, then this is the perfect gift for them.